We collect plants that you will not find in normal nurseries. So we say we start when most nurseries finish. So all the odd and unusual and collectible plants we do to the extreme. So here you'll find cacti, succulents, orchids, bromeliads, carnivorous plants. But every plant that we work with to the extreme. So we have complete collections, not just the top 5, but we might have 250 types of hoyas, 350 different types of tillandsias. When I started, it was really just trying to create a hobby business. We were dealing with collectors and mail order. To get myself and my brother comfortable, a nice income, we didn't envisage having staff or growing to the scale that we did. But when we started, we found there's incredible popularity. But we now wholesale plants right around the country. Darwin, Cairns, Broome, you name it. Collector's Corner really is a culmination of 45 years of collecting. My intention basically is anything that lives, crawls or grows on this planet or has ever lived, grown and crawled for the last 3 to 4 billion years. So it's a way of me showing my experience, my hobbies, my interests to the general public, rather than just holding them in a collection at home that no one can appreciate or ever see. And that's what this place is all about, really. These are 2 of my analytes from my collection. They're 60 million years old. Their skin has created an opalescent-like mineral. Pretty spectacular. This is one of the best pieces in my collection. It's a Permian reptile, one of the first reptiles that walked on land, some 260 million years old. It's a rebuild of all the original bones because they never come that perfect when they fossilise. Cacti were probably one of my first passions. I started collecting when I was 11 years old with a few plants in my dad's garden, and it has now culminated into what you see here, this stunning display garden. So you can see in the background almost 6-7 metre trichocereus cacti. They can weigh up to maybe 700-800 kilograms. There's also my giant elephant's feet in the back, my MADAGASCAR Alluaudias, looking spectacular at this time of the year. And there's little quirky, very unusual plants throughout the garden. What I'm trying to do is make collecting plants fun, to make people understand and appreciate the beauty of these creatures. And the only way is by displaying them in their natural settings, and it's the best way to actually grow them to perfection as well. This is an experimental garden I created about a year ago, and the object is to grow different species of mosses. We currently have about 15 growing at the moment, and most of them are actually doing exceptionally well, far better than we expected. But this is a work in progress. It'll probably take me 2 to 3 years to complete. This bonsai is one of the better plants in my collection. It was donated to me in the 1980s by a woman called Evelyn Walscott. She was getting too old to look after it. She raised it from seed in 1948, and she was one of the earlier collectors of bonsai in Melbourne. Many of my plants are actually given to us by people that have become too old to care for them. And the beauty of bonsai is something you can hand down for many, many generations. So I'll probably hand this one down to someone else to look after in another 20 or 30 years' time. Probably one of my most successful plants has been the monkey's tail cactus. I imported the first seed of that back in the late 2000s. It comes from Brazil, from a very, very small locality. Once I raised the first seedlings, I realised their potential. And I started growing display plants, which I exhibited at exhibitions and the Collector's Corner. It'll cascade up to 2 metres down with very, very fine, fluffy spines, and will eventually make a stunning display plant. We're in one of my 3 production facilities. This is the most advanced. It's 14,500 square metres of glass house. Between the 3 sites, I have 50,000 square metres of coverage in which we produce quite a few million plants a year. Trends is something I don't believe in. Trends are something that we create. So the fashion industry creates the next trends. They know years ahead what they're going to do. I know years ahead what I'm going to do. And so I'm actually ahead of the trends. And over the years, many of the products that we've actually entered into the market have become fashion trends in Australia, like hoyas and Rhipsalis and a lot of other plants that we've worked with. One of the main interests I have in plants nowadays is actually developing and breeding new hybrids. And this is an example of something that I did last year just for the fun of it, not knowing what I was going to get. I raised a few hundred seedlings from a crossing between this green plant and that plant there. They're two unnamed species from Peru. And the expectant result were plants like this here with brown leaves, about half the size of both the parents. But out of the blue, we had 7 seedlings. They came out absolutely tiny. And believe it or not, that's a brother and sister, both the same age. We'll then breed this next year and probably even the year after to just see how far we can change its colour, shape and pattern. We do this with a wide range of different plants. Plants are a living, growing entity. They do something, not hidden away in a book that you might look at once every 15 years. No, plants reward you day by day. To see a plant grow from a seed through to flower, it can be a 3-month project or it could be a 50-year project. My Titan ARUM took me 10 years to flower, and his flower was 1.8 metres tall. It's little things like that that make it rewarding, and every day there's something new and exciting and different throughout my nurseries to discover.